The project is really about restoring Series 1 vehicles from cars that were produced from 1948 to 1958 and bringing those cars back to life. And it was actually only a project for about 25 cars initially. We did one car just to understand what it would take to do the project, what it would involve, how would it actually do that. And when we showed that off to the world, it just took off from there, to be honest. Some customers have a car that they would like us to restore for them, and so we accept that. Typically the way that things work is that customers have an idea of the type of vehicle they'd like. They'd like an early one, or they'd like a 1955, or they'd like whatever vehicle, and in that case we will then try and go and find that particular vehicle and source it. We're looking or scouting for reborn vehicles for Land Rovers all around the world. We've got a couple of experts within our team who have been living and breathing Land Rovers since they were really, really small. And actually they know quite a lot of where the vehicles are, and particularly in Australia, because that was a really big market for us back in those days. And what they do is they go back out into the outback hunting and searching for these vehicles. So actually we've been quite successful at finding these vehicles in sort of real outstations in Australia. Australia is particularly good because it's a dry climate, so the cars are preserved really nicely. We find them in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but generally, you know, the chassis are good, and from that we can then restore the vehicles. I think the authenticity side, I mean, that is really, really important to us, maintaining the integrity of the products, maintaining the authenticity. We receive cars in all sorts of shapes and sizes with all sorts of manner of parts on them. So one of the jobs that we do is understanding what we can actually restore versus what we need to replace versus what parts we can't actually get and we have to re-engineer. I think the trickiest part is making sure that we've got that authenticity, because actually it's about putting the cars together, but putting them together in a way that complements the way that they were actually built in the first place and really maintains that history and that legacy that they've got.